Bro, does Nicki like
For
anybody?
Nicki Minaj.
Yo, real talk, does she like
Nicki
anybody?
Yo.
It's your boy Uche. I got my boy
DZ.
We are the Ill-Advised Wise Guys.
Check out the full podcast, link below.
Are rappers too competitive? As you guys may know on the internet, Nicki Minaj is going about at just about everyone. Nicki Minaj is shooting shots at Cardi B. She shot shots at Megan Thee Stallion. And then now she's going at Lotto. Like, it's crazy. I feel like this is all just based on like the competitive juices that are flowing through her, which, you know, Nicki Minaj came out, you know, she came up a very competitive rap world.
And if you gonna drop, you better drop, because when I come out, it's a rhythm. Y'all just had y'all time. Don't try to get on the come up no more, though.
That's what she knew. And I think she's transferring type of mentality to today. And a lot of these young rappers, if I were to guess, they're not on that. How can we break bread together? Also, one of the most interesting quotes that stood with me, Vince Staples said,
expression, you know, the music game, but why is that expression? The reason it's an expression because somebody has to lose. So that way, when it ends up and then you do it and it takes everything from you, then you just lost the game. But that's not what it's supposed to be. This is a business. You're supposed to have good business, good morals. They pay you. They don't call any other genre the game.
To me, we never really got to tackle that element. Are rappers too competitive? Way too unnecessarily aggressive?
I think rap is way too competitive. In order to contextualize and really try to understand the reasoning behind it and why, I think you got to go back of the history of rap, battle rap. It starts from when hip hop was created. You got the DJs and the MCs going back and forth.
The ability to find breakbeats that their rivals didn't have yet.
DJs didn't let other people see what records they had. That was part of the thing of being competitive. You know, who got the beats?
Creating that dynamic between MC and MC, like who can rock the mic more. This is way before rap even imagined to become the global genre that it is. So I think that, like, at its essence, most rappers have that competitive aspect because of that reason. I'm not sure if that will ever not exist. To a certain degree, we kind of got to just accept the competitive aspect of it all. And I think it is good for competition. It's good in certain situations, but not in this case. When you start dealing with Nicki Minaj and environment she's kind of created and how she keeps going at people. It's the Lottos, who's the more recent person. Like you said, Cardi B is her like forever op. They ain't never gonna squash. Like it's pretty obvious. That's her. They ops for life. And so, like, I'm not trying to say, yo, people can't be competitive and that they can't have ops, because I think it is natural. You're not gonna like everybody. If we just get into the minds of, like, let's say a Nicki Minaj, for example, she has been so dominant as a female rapper in the game. I believe she could potentially be threatened by the influx of women rappers these days. You and I, we talked about this for a while now. Women are more popping than the dudes. So when you actually say that and you think that, of course, that's going to come with all these women who are in the game and getting a light in the media and just in the spotlight that Nicki Minaj never saw when she was coming up. She got her look because she was standing next to initially Gucci, then it transferred to Wayne, and then, like, she was taken seriously because of the huge cosign that was Young Money, Cash Money. And she just happened to be so phenomenal at rapping that she was able to have that longevity. But I think now that there's been so much of an influx of women in the game, I feel like she could potentially be threatened by it, right? Like, think about every criticism that she has for all of her ops. She always tries to discredit them for not writing their rap.
I'm still one of the only MCs that's out here spitting metaphors and making you think. And
Most fundamental aspect of rap is to say, I write my own bars. Even more as a female, because it's been widely known that historically they get written for, right? And people just kind of accept it. So competition is good. I think it's needed. But I think in some cases like this, it can get a little out of control when you are so much of an old school competitive person in hip hop that I think it can be to your detriment. How many female rappers has she collaborated with that actually have bars? Like, actually really can rap? Because what I can tell is typically she'll get on the song with people who are not people that you would say got bars and can really spit. I'm not sure if that's a just her not wanting to give these other girls who can actually rap the light. It could be a little bit of that, but to me, that's where competition can kind of, I mean, what you think?
Nicki came up in a generation where you had to like fight for everything. First and foremost, she was a woman rapper at a time where women rap was probably at its lowest. Because think about before Nicki Minaj, who was the poppin' women rappers? Remy Ma,
Rod Digger.
Rod Digger. Like, I mean, obviously Lil' Kim, which Nicki Minaj has beef with Lil' Kim, right? Lil' Kim paved the way.
Bro, does Nicki like
for
anybody?
Nicki Minaj.
Yo, real talk. Does she like
Nicki
anybody?
likes JT. They like City Girls. They're all friends.
She likes Coi Leray. And that one's hanging
that
by
one's
the balance.
shaky too. But Nicki came up having a hustle for where she got to. She was in the most competitive group in hip hop, Young Money, which had Drake, Tyga, Lil Wayne. I don't know if she's capable of turning it off. From that point, I applaud her. But, you know, Nicki also needs to understand that a lot of these women rappers you're her idol. Lotto said it, like, you paved the way for me.
Due respect to the who paved way for Nicki, but Nicki touched me.
There's a thin line between hater and being somebody who, you know, is competitive. And I think that's the part that a lot of people struggle with. And so Nicki Minaj is like, dog, like, most of these women don't even want to fight. They don't want to fight you. Her competitive nature is what literally is driving all her beefs with these people. Because even Cardi B said it. Cardi B was like, I look up to you. But it's like, you can't just trash them on your way to your next single releasing. Outside of Nicki Minaj and all the women rappers, I find it funny because in music today, there's so many subliminal shots that people send. Like, for instance, Lil Baby, like we talked about earlier, he dropped a song. He's talking about Quavo. He's talking about, yo, I had your girl. I did this to your girl. I just wanted to swap it out. And then I'm listening to Quavo. Quavo and Takeoff, only built for Infinity Links. Quavo's like, you know, I created QC. There's no QC without me. And then there's little shots here and there at like Offset, obviously, and all these people. And it's like, to me, as a listener, kind of entertaining to listen to. At the same time, I'm like, would the hip hop world be better if we, you know, just got along more? Literally, this is crazy. Cameron, Mace, and Jadakiss dropped a song yesterday. And you know what I said to myself? I said, yo, what if Cameron and Mace never beefed? Because Cameron and Mace had Horse and Carriage in 1999.
Mama, I got my horse and carriage right outside.
Fire ass song. And then they started beefing shortly after. So 20, 30 years went by. Them two did not, you know, collaborate with one another. And then they collaborate in 2022 for the first time in like 20 years. What if they didn't beef in between that time? What if Pusha T, Drake, Lil Wayne, all them people didn't hate each other? The consumers are missing out. Do you know how many people I want NBA YoungBoy to collaborate with? That
Right.
he just hates for no reason. Like, how tight would an NBA YoungBoy 21 Savage collaboration be? Competition's actually hurting hip hop more than people realize.
Let's talk about hip hop's infatuation with beef. Point that back to just the essence of what hip hop has been. It was built off conflict and I'm better than you, whether it's on the mic or I dress better than you. We don't see this level of conflict in any other genre.
Competition is one of the only reasons why you would just not like somebody. Do you know how many situations are going on right now where the beef is not really clear? The reason Rick Ross said he sent a diss record towards 50 Cent's way was because during the BET Award, he claims 50 Cent looked at him a certain way that he did not like. Translation, he was just trying to pick a fight with somebody to further his brand. Think about all the beefs that you cannot explain.
Well, some you can explain.
There's some that I really don't know. Gucci Mane and T.I. Apparently they don't like each other. Why?
I mean, I don't know, but I'm sure they know.
Lil Wayne and Pusha T.
Well, that one we do know, but it's stupid.
Yeah.
Wayne was still in the Bape, acting like he was the first person to rock it, and they threw shots. Again.
Yeah. Drake and Pusha T. What was the reason?
Well, that was because of Kanye more than like. But do we even know?
What was Kanye and Drake's reason? I actually can't remember.
I think it was competition driven.
Competition, right?
I've heard Kanye say he was threatened by Drake, and I believe somebody like a Kanye will use that and just start throwing shots his way. To your point, I do think it takes away from the music. Like, imagine hearing an actual Drake and Kanye project early on. I better find your lovin', right? That was Kanye produced. But imagine if we got more music from these dudes together. We may have gotten something special, but hey, man, you guys let us know.
Listen to the full episode, link below.